subscribe to Go Doctor Who. And if you don't, then you can go.
Hello guys, you're watching Go Doctor Who, and today we're going to basically say why the Timeless Child works. There's going to be a lot of you viewers that are watching this video and thinking, it doesn't work, I don't like it, Chris Chibnall's destroyed the show, what is happening? And there's 4 points here that are the arguments against this. It devalues the First Doctor, there's not enough context, there's too much gaps, there's too much context, there's too much knowledge now. We've answered Doctor Who, all we need is his name. And then we've got another, which I'll come to in a minute, that I seem to have forgotten. Not enough context, too much context, devalues the Doctor. Oh, and the Matt Smith, the 12 new regenerations, it messes up that. And why did the Time Lords give him more incarnations? So, let's get into it. So, why does the Timeless Child work? I'm going to go in that order. So, first up, there's too much context. There isn't too much context. And it's basically Chris Chibnall's added stuff that didn't need to be here. The Timeless Child didn't need to be here. The show could have still ran. It still would have been fine. We would have been none of the wiser, and we would have continued. And so would the Doctor. And by the end of this episode, the Roof Doctor tells her that she is still the Doctor. All that stuff that she's done still happened, and it's still defined you today, and you can still go on as normal. And you could think, well, that's the point then. What's the point of this? It did make, throughout the series, her upset. As soon as the Master found out this information, he destroyed Gallifrey over this, making the Doctor upset and angry and lashing out at the companions throughout the series because her home planet's gone. She doesn't know how to react, and that has caused consequences to her throughout the series. It may do in Series 13, it may not, but at least it's affected Series 12, and it has. And we've seen that because the Master caused that. We've also got the information that was there. It didn't need to be there, but he has added it now. It's canon. We just have to go along with that. And there we go. We have a lot of information there that is now interesting. It creates mystery. It hits who in the title. You know, we don't know about what species she's from. We don't know how she got to the portal, this Timeless Child, which is the Doctor, and that creates mystery. It creates the who in the title, which is the Second Doctor and the Third Doctor. We finally learnt about Gallifrey in the Third Doctor's era, and we finally learned about the Time Lords in the Second Doctor era. And before that, there was so much mystery, and it's now created that mystery again. We don't know where the Doctor's from. We don't know who she is. And that is setting back to the beginning again, you could say, giving us a new species to look for and to find. And maybe it will lead into that with Chris Chibnall's plans, or maybe he's going to leave it and maybe someone else will pick that up at some point, or Big Finish. But yeah, it's created a mystery. Now, there's not enough information. That's the second thing there's a problem with in the Timeless Child. Well, it's creating who in the title. We need mystery, and it needs them gaps. Them gaps can be filled in by other showrunners over time. We don't want to give everything away all at once. We can fill out little bits. Of course the Time Lords are going to get rid of information. They're not going to allow someone to just read all their history. And with that, we have gaps of how the Roof Doctor, I believe the Roof Doctor is the last Timeless Child. And I could be wrong, I could be right, but to my canon, which is what I think, is she was flying about, she left the agency, and then finally left the agency when she came to the Roof Doctor, and then the Roof Doctor flew away, and the Shadoon were after her and all that, and the Time Lords, and the Time Lords or the Shadoon captured her and put her back to Gallifrey, forced her to regenerate, just like the Irish chameleon circuit of, I don't know his name, but he was the Irish guy, what we saw clips in. So, yeah, basically, the Roof Doctor got forced back into the William Hartnell. That's my understanding. But we don't see that. That's mystery. How did the Roof Doctor come to become William Hartnell? And why did they have to force that to happen? Also, we don't know about where the Doctor came from and then the alien species. I've talked about that. Next up, we have another question. It devalues the First Doctor. It doesn't, because the First Doctor is reborn again as this child. It's his new incarnation. It's his new set. And from that set, we know his history. We've seen it all happen. The Doctor stole the TARDIS and ran away. Maybe that's why he was connected to the TARDIS. There's a line in Into the TARDIS, not Into the TARDIS, the Doctor's wife. Yes, in Series 6, there was the TARDIS came a human. And with that, she mentions that she was in a museum and the Doctor touched it as a kid and said, "You're the most beautiful thing he ever seen." Maybe he was drawn to that because he's been in that machine before as the Roof Doctor, and maybe that's why they had a connection. And the TARDIS never said anything because the Doctor will find out later. But the Doctor has already had a connection because he's already been with that machine before. And then later on in the William Hartnell run, he stole it. He stole the TARDIS. Clara helped him steal it, and it makes sense. Why would he just listen to Clara? Because he has a connection with it. He senses maybe that's the right option to go for, and he goes in that TARDIS and flies away. That's my logic of this anyway. So it does work. It's still the First Doctor of that run, but Time's Child is a different version. I guess Ruth did call herself the Doctor, and maybe that links in with how mainly William Hartnell maybe thought of becoming the Doctor again, or something like that. But yeah, it doesn't destroy the logic of the show. And finally, with talking about logic, it does fix a few things. The Morbius Doctor, and it fixes Series 6. In Series 6, he gets shot by the astronaut with a song, and he's about to regenerate. He's going like that, and he gets shot again. Why would he try and regenerate if he's the last incarnation? Maybe because his body is always trying to regenerate. Maybe that's the thing with the Time Lords. Their body tries to regenerate no matter what. Or because he was the Timeless Child and he was going to regenerate anyway, he could have regenerated into Peter Capaldi too early. But he didn't, of course, because he was in a robot suit and all that. But that explains why he tried to regenerate. And then we also have another solution with the last of the 11th Doctor era, the 12 new regeneration cycles, or how many the Time Lords gave him in the time of the Doctor. Yeah, why did they give him new regeneration cycle then? That messes up the timeline, Time's Child, because you've ruined Matt Smith's regeneration cycle. No, maybe the Time Lords just didn't want the Doctor to find out he had more regenerations. And if he found out he had more regenerations, he's going to come to the Time Lords and go, "How come I did this? Why is this happening? I've regenerated again. How's that happened?" But to shut the Doctor up, they just quickly pretended to give him more regenerations to make him none of the wiser. To basically keep themselves safe, keep their secrets safe, so the Doctor never finds out. Of course he does. Also, this time, the Time's Children helps with the hybrid. The hybrid theory basically is two warrior races mixed together. The cyber warrior race and the Master is technically the hybrid in a way. And when the Master absorbs that goo full of information and the Matrix and stuff, he's all clever and he has destroyed Gallifrey and all that. Well, he destroyed Gallifrey way before that. But in a way, the Master is the hybrid. The Cybermen are the hybrid. That solves that as well. So there's a lot of things this actually solves and works with, and I like that. Although there are some questions of where's the Roof Doctor then? We've had 2 episodes with her technically. We've had her in the Time's Children and the Shadoon episode. So we've connected with this Doctor. Maybe they didn't think we would connect with the Doctor, but we have connected with her. But of course we are. It's the Doctor. We're going to connect with her. We want to see more of her. And if they don't give more, and this is it, we've only seen this much of Ruth and that's all we're getting, then that's annoying. That's a letdown because Roof Doctor, we need to see more. At least 2 more episodes. Maybe helping the Doctor. We have Jodie and the Roof Doctor. Let's travel together for adventure one-off time. And then the next time we find out how she escaped the Time Agency or how she gets forced back into William Hartnell. That could be something we could learn in the future with the Roof Doctor. There's so many possibilities, and if they don't do that, it would be such a shame and a letdown for letting Ruth go off. And technically we didn't see Ruth in her physical form. It was in the Doctor's head in the Matrix anyway. Yes. Then we also didn't get... there was something else as well that was a bit of a letdown is... Yeah, Big Finish shouldn't have to do with the Ruth Doctor. They will. They probably will do more than the Ruth Doctor. They'll do other Timeless Children. But the show has made this, so they should do it. They should do more on this. If it's just a one-off episode and that's all we're getting, we have got some know-how how the Doctor came to be. And fair enough. But if they just leave it and we move on with different stuff next series or the series after that, then what's the point in a way? Because we do need more. All I'm saying is the Time Child works. It gives us a chance of refreshing the show and doing something different. And you've got to give Chris Chibnall, he's got the balls for that, and he's also daring enough to do it, and he's done it. So yeah, credit to Chris Chibnall. It's worked, in my opinion. It's answered and stuck to the logic and the rules of Doctor Who. It always is gonna clash with a few stuff, but it works, and that is why The Timeless Children works. And there is maybe the Ruth Doctor, which we've connected with, needs answering and resolved. And yeah, there's a lot more to come. And I think my next video will be on, basically, is there more Time Lords out there? Because there could be, and I'm going to explain that in the video. And then I'm also going to do a room tour, because I'm leaving this flat. I'm going to basically do a flat tour of all the Doctor Who stuff I've got and review that. And then I'm also going to do an up-to-date video on what's to come on my channel. I have a hell of a load of videos planned up to the end of the year. Unlike Chris Chibnall, I don't have gaps off every so often in my 5-year plan. I have a 2-year plan, and even then I've written down all these videos I want to do in the 2 years. I've worked out which weeks I'm going to do it. I'm going to have some weeks off, but I've got a lot planned for 2 years worth of videos, and even then I'm going to think of new videos to do, and even then I've got to review the new series and new episodes anyway. So I've got a lot planned for the channel, my 2-year plan, and I'm not having a year off, a gap year in between. And I've also got more videos beyond that. So this channel is just growing, and I've got a lot of ideas and a lot of plans. But I am going to have weeks off and a few stuff like that. Like I've noticed, I'm going to take off the whole of August, but then I'm going to be back for the next month, and I'm going to do other stuff. So there are some weeks where I won't do content, but I have got a plan for almost every week of the year. So stick around for Go Doctor Who, and if you haven't already, listen to the Doctor. Follow the Doctor's orders at the start of this video. Sylvester Coy gave you an order. So yeah, like this video, subscribe, comment, get that little bell, and I will see you for my next video. See you guys soon.